Hey everyone, can you hear me? Hello? Put in the chat, can you hear me? Everything good? We might need Bonnie here to do some technical work. Yes. Okay. Welcome, guys. Excellent. Hi, Nick. How you doing? Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is kind of something new for me. I've never really done live stream before. Well, I did do one briefly. You and I did one briefly at our 100,000 mark, but really excited you guys are here. Not really sure what we're going to do with this next hour. I do have a couple cool things to share with you, and we'll definitely do Q&As, and I've got a tub full of really cool Knight Rider stuff I could pull out and show you if we want to go do that. So I think AJ we were trying to figure out a way to have both me and AJ on from two remote locations. We weren't able to make that happen, but I think he's going to be joining under KRH exclusives. He's not on yet, but hopefully he'll be on soon. So you'll kind of have both of us here. But you want to say anything, Emily? You want to say hi?
Hi.
See, we got Emily rocking the Toddco hat from Toddco when they were here working on the rear door of the semi, which is really cool. So what I want to start, hey, Roy, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Matthew, oh, there's so many names I recognize. We got people from New Zealand, from the Netherlands, from the UK. That's crazy. So if you guys are wondering, see this bumper back here? That I just set that up there, I don't know, for some quick decoration, but that's the bumper. That's the original bumper that was on the car in Junkyard Dog when it was pulled out of the acid pit. It's going to go back on one of our originals once we get it back from the Peterson, but there you can see it right there. Isn't that cool? Okay, so before we get started, I see some of you guys are putting questions in there, and we'll definitely get to those, but I wanted to share something really, really neat to start this. So as you know, 100,000 subscribers was kind of my initial goal whenever I started on YouTube 3.5 years ago. And we finally hit it a couple weeks ago, and I was super excited. And I wanted to thank you guys definitely for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. But I wanted to share this with you. We got the Silver YouTube Play Button Award. So I'm going to open it up here so you guys can see it. So it comes with a nice thank you, or a nice congratulations letter from YouTube. But here it is. Here is our play button. And I say our play button because it's all of our play buttons, because you all made this happen. Look at that. Let's see if I can, there you go. Presented to Knight Rider historians for passing 100,000 subscribers. Isn't that cool? It's, yeah, it's like a mirror in front and then hang it on the wall. So super excited. I don't know where I'm going to hang it yet, but I'm going to do something with it. But there we go. That's the result of 3.5 years of making content for you guys. So thank you guys. Thanks for all the congratulations. I definitely really appreciate that. Looks like AJ's on. We got KRH exclusives here. I'm wondering, I'm going to put AJ on the spot. I'm wondering if we should call him so he can, you know, talk a little bit. AJ, I'm going to call you, and you're going to like it. And we're going to see if everyone at home can hear you. So I'm calling you right now, and we're going to put you on speaker so you can be a part of this. Maybe. We'll see if it works. You guys tell me if you hear him.
Well, let's hope you can hear me.
Can you guys hear AJ? Here, go ahead and talk, AJ. I'm going to put you up near the mic.
Welcome all of our subscribers and viewers to this live stream. I'm so honored to actually be here by audio only. Welcome to the technology of the YouTubes.
Loud and clear, people are saying. So guess what, AJ? You're on with us for the next hour.
Well, I plan on it.
Good, good. So
after all, I did suggest it.
Well, I know you suggested it, and we did a little dry run earlier today to see if we could somehow get video of him and me. Just weren't able to make it happen, so this was his suggestion, and I'm glad we were able to make it work.
Yes, even Michael Knight says he can hear me, so I like that.
That's amazing. Isn't he he should be retired by now?
He could be retired by now. I want to hear from Michael Long back from the grave.
Yes, right. Well, the public's not supposed to know that Michael Knight is.
I think 40 years later that secret is out. Speaking of which, when is the anniversary of? We're about to get to the anniversary of that particular episode.
Yes.
Where we actually,
you mean the pilot?
Well, no. We're way past that. How many times is Michael Long referred to after the pilot?
By name, just a few. I mean, a good night's work is probably the most prominent one.
Yeah, because we see his grave for the first time, so we can see his birth date, if I'm not mistaken, unless you had access to some scripts or with scenes that were never said before. You'd never see that. So yeah, a good night's work. But in what episode does Michael Long saunter into the police department claiming that he's still an officer there?
Well, it's Nightmares, right?
Of course. When is the 40th anniversary of Nightmares?
Jeez. Well, it would be 1983, right? So this is the 40th anniversary.
So it's this year.
Are you really going to make me look up the date of it?
I think I'm going to look it up before you do.
All right, you look it up. I'm gonna share some other stuff with our attendees here. So
right. So Nightmares, you don't even have to. Nightmares is December 11th.
Okay.
83.
See?
December 11th, 1983. And I remember watching it on NBC the day that happened. And, forgive me for hijacking your
no problem.
Put me on the phone.
Go ahead.
So it's your problem. The fact that we're doing this on a Friday night harkens back to me and those of us who actually watched Knight Rider first season on NBC. How many of us are there out there? Let's see you guys in the chat. Because right now it's me. Joe is too young for that.
Yeah, I watched reruns on WWOR in the late 80s. That's where I fell in love with the show. Yeah.
Right. So wait a minute. Purgatory here. Is that what I saw? All right. Purgatory 13. AJ has every single episode release date memorized, apparently. No, I just have a really good date. I really have a really good database. I have a chunk of them, first and second season dates memorized, but not all of them. Thank you very much. I thought Purgatory was saying that he or she had all of those memorized, but that doesn't always be fun. Anyway, yes, let's see the show of hands. They're still rolling in here.
Oh yeah, there's a number of people
all right,
there.
Yeah, JMF 1973. Yes, you were 10. So was I. We're the same age. Fantastic. Anyway,
people from South
Africa.
On
December 11th, right? That being the 40th anniversary of Nightmares, I think we should do something special because that's just a good fan episode. But that's what this reminds me of: the fact that for the first time in many decades, I had to watch what I was doing, so that I could actually be inside on this live chat, which did remind me many times of making sure that I was able to be inside in front of the television on a Friday night watching Knight Rider on NBC. So there you go.
Well, it's just like be there, just like the NBC motto back in the 80s. Be there, right?
You're there and I'm there.
Yes.
And everybody else is here. How many do we have on the chat here?
I don't know. There's a whole bunch and they keep coming. So
they keep coming.
Robbo, thank you so much for your donation, Robbo. Really appreciate it. That's awesome.
We appreciate that, the Disabled Vlogger. We're honored to have you here.
And he says if we ever want to sell one of the originals, look him up. Keep that in mind. Definitely.
Thank you. We'll add you to the list.
Yes, we're at 162 people watching right now.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you get the count. I don't think I get the count here yet.
No, you get audio only. 160 and growing, says Nick. Yeah, we have Nick Nugent on here, author of the Knight Rider Companion, a good friend of ours, and he. There's some neat collaboration stuff going on with him and us that we'll share with you here shortly. But Eric.
Beyond what they already know.
And Eric Lang. Look, Eric Lang's here. Yes.
Claire Ben Therese, thank you. We appreciate that donation. Thank you very much.
Was there going to be a season? Was there going to be a season 5 of Knight Rider? No, I don't think so. It got canceled, according to rumor, because the show just got too expensive and they didn't think it would have a life in syndication. But according to Jack Gill, the stunt coordinator on the show, the filming of the last episode, which was Voodoo Night, is when they found out they were canceled. So they didn't even get the chance to start working on a season 5.
And for our Patreon supporters, I just thought of this, and maybe I'll post this next. We actually have a picture of Jack and Michael, Jack and David. They're looking rather dejected because they're both Michael Knight, of course.
Of course.
They're looking fairly dejected because, according to Jack, they had just gotten the news. And so somebody snapped a picture of the two of them sitting there in that hotel lobby or wherever that filming location was.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So maybe before the end of this chat, I'll just be sharing that with our Patreon supporters.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And actually, it was on the set of Voodoo Night. You remember in the last 2 seasons, they had that standing set on stage 1 that was just, I call it the staircase set, which I've talked about in some of our videos, where it's just this giant room and there's the big staircase off to the side. And they use that in tons of episodes. Halloween Night, Night in Disgrace, Voodoo Night, Fright Night. It was in all these episodes, and it was just a standing generic set at Universal, and that's where that picture was taken.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I didn't have that specificity. Now, if I could just find it.
Yes, well, I'll let you do that.
Okay.
So one thing I wanted to share with you guys, if you haven't noticed yet, we've got a new website. And I think I posted about it on the Historians Facebook page the other day. But there's a brand new website with all new merchandise and all of Dawn Peak's soundtracks, except for the half dozen or dozen that we're still working to find. But there's new ones in there: Soul Survivor, Give Me Liberty, Give Me Death, Brothers Keeper, Ring of Fire, all these ones that have never been released before. We had been working with Don. He found the original 1/4-inch magnetic reels, and he gave them to us. We had them baked and digitized, and they're now available on our website, along with all new merchandise, all kinds of great stuff in there. So head on over there and check it out for sure if you're interested in his music. It's so amazing that he saved those for all these years. And now because of that, we're able to share that with you.
That's cool. Yeah. I agree, Nick. Don Peak is a rock star.
Yes. Mark. I see Mark here. I'm going to meet Mark tomorrow. I'm going to be at the Skyway Drive-In for the Stunt Life movie. And Mark asked, I'm taking Kit. Kit will be there.
That's tomorrow already.
It is tomorrow evening. And Mark's asking if I'm going to wear my Night Shield jacket, which, remember this, AJ? Remember we got this? The Night Shield.
How could I forget?
The crew jacket. Oh, wait. No. This isn't one we got from Alan Payne. We
have several of them. The one I have from Alan Payne is actually here somewhere.
Yes. Yeah. This is one I found many years ago in auction. It says Jim. Not sure. We know a couple gyms that worked on the show, but not sure which one this is. But yes, I'm going to wear this tomorrow because it's going to be cool. And, I'll be in one of the original pets, so.
Let me just say that I have a feeling that between the two of us, we can go deep enough to probably figure out, and at least narrow down which gym that was.
Yes, I'm sure we can do that.
We have the power of that level of specificity. And let's see. What is it a friend of mine said? Weaponized OCD. That was it.
Yeah, that's you to a T. Nick says...
and it's not you. You don't resemble that remark.
Well, it's sort of me. Yes, in a way. Nick said it could be Jim Winburn, right, Nick? Or it could be, we know Jim Morris. There was probably a number of Jims that worked on the show. We'd have to go back through our notes and see.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. So let's see. How many cars are there? Pinkie Pie. Surviving, there's 5 that we know of. Do I have I'm sorry. Link to the new store. Just go to nightriderhistorians.com. We had a site. We've had a site there for years, but we just switched it over to a new provider, all new layout and everything. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. Who do you think?
And if I understand correctly, you can't actually screen share there on YouTube Live, right? You can't.
No.
This is not the Zooms. This is the YouTubes.
This is the YouTubes, and I don't think we can, unfortunately. So people have been, I'm watching the chat. People have been asking about updates on the semi. because I haven't done a semi video in like a month. And I could freak you guys out and say, you know, a tree fell on the trailer and we're devastated. But no, it's fine. It's just we're not, I don't want to say we're in a holding pattern, but I've been doing some stuff on it, but really I'm waiting. There's going to be another one of our semi work days here in a few weeks. And during that semi work day, we're going to finish all of the insulation, finish the plywood in the trailer. I just today ordered all the steel to build the winch wall that'll go on the back of the trailer. There used to be a steel wall. If you watch the videos, I think I talked about this a few times. There used to be a steel wall near the very front of the trailer, and it was part of the support and bracing for the winch. So whenever the winch was activated, you know, it's pulling that very, very heavy door, and they needed to make sure that the setup was stable. So they built this steel wall. Steel wall is gone, but thankfully there's an imprint of where the wall was. I mean, you can even see on the wall in the paint, you can see the marks where the wall was. So I know it was 4 inches thick, and you know, I know a few other details. So I ordered the steel today, so we're going to get it in, and hopefully we're going to get that fabricated and installed at that semi work day. So we're doing that. And the tractor, or the prime mover, as some of you guys call it, is it's kind of in a holding pattern too. I've been talking to a diesel shop that lives literally that works right down the road from me, and I'm waiting for them to have an opening. I'm going to take the tractor down there. They're going to do fluid changes, hoses. They're going to switch out the front 2 tires, which are the last ones we haven't done. Just go over the whole thing, make sure it's 100% roadworthy. And then it's going to go off to paint. I don't know if it's going to get painted this year or next year. It all depends on the timing, but it needs painted before the sleeper can be added, because you can't paint in between the sleeper and the cab with the sleeper on. So it's coming along. There will be another update on it soon, but for the most part, there hasn't been too much going on with that.
There's a lot of questions here.
I know. I can't even keep up with them all. This
is fantastic. How many do we have here watching, and then how many are in the chat, or is it the same number?
There's 200 people in here.
Nice.
So are you still looking for furniture or other items for the trailer? No.
What do you mean no? What do you wait.
I shouldn't say no. I mean, we've identified everything, and we pretty much have everything. There's just a few little pieces we're missing. So
well,
I guess
now Joe, hang on here. Time out. You've identified almost everything. I can think of some things that we're still missing.
What are we missing? Tell me what we're missing from the season 2 through 4 interior setup.
All right. So how about, do you have the clock? The tabletop clock?
No, but we've identified it.
Okay. All right. Exactly.
Yes.
All right. So you've identified everything in season 2 through 4?
I think so. And we have 99% of it. Yeah. Even down to the California law books that were inside of the wall unit.
Well, I know that, but this Knight Rider historian isn't quite satisfied with that, because I want to extend that to identifying everything from season 1 as well.
Well, yes, but that's your project.
That's my project.
We're talking about the restoration of the semi. Yes.
All right, I'll leave that alone then.
Okay. So.
Okay.
What else?
Well, there's so many good comments in here, and they're scrolling by before any of us have any chance to say anything about them. So, let everyone. We love these comments. Keep them coming. We may or may not get to. I'm sure we won't get to them all, but we're going to get to as many as we possibly can. So. Yes.
How did they secure the hubcaps on the cars? Well, sometimes they didn't, and you see them flying off. But for the roll cage acrylic window jump car, which I love saying, they actually drilled a hole in the center and put a bolt through the hubcap, which you can see if you watch the show and in as much detail as we do.
And what do you think that bolt screwed into? Do you think the hubcap? Do you speculate that it is the hubcap holder of the day,
but yes, there was probably some weird. I mean, we know how they did stuff back then. They just made it work, right, with whatever they could. So, yes, I don't know, but I don't think we have time to speculate right now.
Oh, come now. This is all these rabbit trails are so much fun. Okay, next question. What do you want to go to? What is it?
Well, I see Danny has joined us. Danny,
welcome, Danny.
Danny Nassif has been so instrumental. He hauled the tractor here. He hauled the trailer here. He's been up here a number of times to help us. So we're glad he's here. He wants to know where the original tractor is, the semi from the first 2 seasons. And that is a wonderful question. We have the VIN for it. Or I guess it was called a serial number back then before 1981, but whatever. It's a 1980 day cab. But the problem is pre-1981, there was no set format for vehicle identification numbers. And places like Carfax, AutoCheck don't seem to have records for that earlier stuff. So even though we have the VIN, all of our searches, we've hired private investigators to search for the truck. Nothing. There is no trace of it anywhere. So as of right now, we have no idea where the first truck is. With the VIN, though, we did run a GMC historical invoice. So we actually have the original invoice for the first tractor. We know how it was set up, but don't know where it is, unfortunately.
Not yet, but it's not like we're giving up.
No, definitely not. And I did see that Eric was on here. So Eric, I'm gonna give them a few tidbits about some of the stuff we've been working on, but I'm not going to give away any details. So Goliath is going to be the other question that people are going to ask. And before you ask, no, we did not find Goliath yet. We're in contact with the family that supplied the truck that became Goliath to the studio. And we have photos of the truck on set from them and what it looked like before it became Goliath. And that's all I'm going to say about it. We're going to do probably another where is Goliath video with some of these details, and we'll show you the photo. But we actually have talked to the family that provided the truck for Goliath to the studio, which is really cool. So we've made some progress there. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to give too much away yet, but we haven't found it yet, but there you go.
Nice. Okay.
What else do we have?
So many good questions, and they're just flying by, so we can't really keep up.
We should put the 100,000 subscriber plaque in the semi-trailer. I don't know. That might not be a bad idea. Why not? Although with we're going to have quite the donors plaque. We've got hundreds of you guys have donated to the semi-restoration.
Yes,
and
thank you.
This plaque is going to be gigantic. I keep thinking, I'm like, holy cow. I mean, there's going to be 400 names on it. So I was thinking we might put it on the side door. When you open the side door, I might, make the giant plaque there, but we'll see.
We have some fantastic fans here that are asking some really, really, really good questions.
I know.
Silly Craftsy, I'll answer that in a year or two. Good question.
What's your favorite episode? Goliath Returns. Always has been my favorite episode since I was a little kid. Goliath Returns.
And for me, it's just the entirety of first season. Although we kind of faded away at short notice, only because, well, I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with that episode at all.
No. So Ground Up Garage asks an interesting question because it's something I've thought of. Would you ever use any of your screen use parts to build a car clone? So not specifically car, but I've always thought, we have what? A dash, we have a nose, we have consoles from all these various vehicles, screen use parts. And I thought, at some point, wouldn't it be cool to just put all those parts in one car? It'd be like a mishmash screen used car that's not screen used, but all the parts are. You know what I mean? Kind of like what they did to the Christine cars. Weren't all the Christine cars in a junkyard and they kind of Frankenstein them together?
Yeah, but they're supposed to be haunted. Is KITT supposed to be haunted, or just his windshield wipers?
Windshield wipers, yes.
Yes. Only KITT's windshield wipers are evil or haunted.
Yes. Did Mark Custom Kits in Florida restore a screen used car? If so, where is it now? Yes. Back in 2002 or 2004, he had the season 3 and 4 hero car that he did some work on. It is now in the UK in private hands. It's the only one outside of the USA.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen it in person.
AJ
we got parts from it.
AJ went to the UK to see it. Yes.
Specifically to see it.
Specifically to see it.
I got 3 hours at night to crawl all over that car.
That's right.
In late October. It was wonderful.
Yes. So, come here, Emily. Emily, we need to take a break. Emily wanted me to show you these. These are night earrings that she made.
Wow!
Isn't that cool? She made, how many sets did you make? I think she made 5 sets of these.
No, I think there's 6.
6 sets. Aren't those neat?
Those are incredibly great. Those are awesome.
They're on our
nice job, Emily.
They're on our website if anyone's interested in them. She sourced the parts, she put them together, and if we sell any, she gets the money. So
yay!
Night earrings.
Nice job.
Thanks. I mean, well, you should say thanks, not me. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, they did that to the Christines. Did they ever use the actual engine sounds of the Trans Am from filming? Yes. The only one that comes to mind in this immediate second is in Mouth of the Snake. There's the scene whenever Michael's about to get executed, and David Dalton comes in, does all his flips, and then he escapes. Michael calls KITT, and KITT comes racing into the construction yard and flies past Michael. If you listen to that scene, you can hear the revving of the car. It's not like really any other scene in the show. That's the Trans Am's actual sound. So go to that scene in Mouth of the Snake if you want to hear the actual engine sound.
Well, and also there's a number of scenes where KITT is parking, right? And Michael's usually driving in this case. And you can actually just hear the natural sound of the engine. And I did not dub over with the turbine sound in those particular scenes.
Yes.
A couple of them in the second season come to mind.
So Adrian asked, if you only had the season 1 truck, would you decorate the trailer differently? If we had, the answer is yes. If we had, I mean, I'm assuming it's yes. I mean, Eric and AJ can agree or disagree, but if we had the first 2 season tractor, well, I guess if we had the first 2 seasons tractor, we could do it either way, right? So I don't know which way it would have gone, but whatever we would have done would have been authentic to a period in time on the show. Since we have the one used last, we thought it was fitting to make it as close to it was as as it was on the last day of filming in 1986. So that's what we're doing.
Well, you know, you ask for our input. You know, if there was a vote, which I don't think there was, if there was actually a vote that included me, I would have pushed for some first season, but there wasn't. Now I don't feel bad about that because the direction that you guys were taking, you and Eric, seemed like a good one to me. So maybe you're hearing this for the first time. I simply had no reason to object whatsoever. None.
No, and I knew you trusted our judgment, but well, is it true, AJ, that you're considering building an accurate season 1 semi set, maybe at your farm? Considering is a good word. Yes.
Working that general direction.
Yes. So I see Nick. So Mark, do you know where the top of the nose of the SPM car is?
That's a great question.
Yeah. So for those of you who are familiar, there are some shots of the Knight Rider cars post filming before most of them were crushed, and you can see the Super Pursuit Mode car in there, and the top of the front nose is missing. It's gone, which probably means someone swiped it. Either that or it fell off and someone threw it in one of the cars and then it did get crushed. So no, we don't know where it's at. I'd like to think it's hanging in someone's garage just waiting for us to find it, but who knows? I do know you guys might have picked this up whenever I did the phone interview with Julius Inglima, the man who was responsible for crushing the cars. And he gave us the original scanner. He saved the original scanner from the roll cage acrylic window jump car, but he also took out all of the hydraulics from the transforming Super Pursuit mode car. And but he ended up giving him to his friend, and he reached out to his friend when we found him, and his friend didn't have him anymore. So those seem to be lost to time. But no, I don't know where that piece is on where the bumper is.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure how many of our fans just had to endure a commercial break, but I certainly did. I, of course, heard you loud and clear because I was on the phone.
Oh, so, I didn't know there were commercial breaks on live.
I just got one.
Well,
I just got
congratulations. I hope you bought whatever product it's.
No, I skipped it as quickly as possible. Tim O'Sullivan, guitarist, asks, the panel you removed from the front of the semi, the one with the AC unit, are you considering selling pieces of it?
Oh, so we haven't made a final decision, and that's between AJ, Eric, and myself. But personally, I think I want to leave it alone. I want to leave it as is because it contains remnants of gold, remnants of black, even around where the window was cut out. I think it'd be really neat to preserve it in the trailer, so when people come, they can see it. Now, you might be wondering, well, where are you gonna, if you're trying to build the set, where are you gonna put this giant honking piece of aluminum? Well, earlier, remember when I was talking about this steel winch wall? There's actually going to be a 18-inch cavity behind the wall, and you're going to be able to access it by climbing under the sofa in the lounge. It took me all this time because one of my goals, one of the things that's really important to me is for you to be able to walk into the trailer and feel like you're exactly in the Knight Rider world. You're on the set. So if there's things in there that don't belong, that's going to take you out of that reality. So, but where the steel wall is, there's actually going to be an 18-inch cavity. So I thought about, maybe mounting that panel in there, which would be out of the way, but people will be able to crawl under there and see it if you want. So I don't know, but no, I don't think we're going to cut it off.
So that means that you have to be very agile and willing to get down on your hands and knees and crawl underneath the couch.
Well, if you're a true Knight Rider fan.
If you're a true Knight Rider fan, we've certainly done worse.
Yes.
No, I think we can hide it inside the Boomerang computer because there's plenty of open space in there.
Yes, there is. That's true. Yes. Let's see what else.
Oh my gosh, there's so much. Milton Edison, thank you very much for that sentiment. Oh, continent, does anyone know where Devin Miles' red Mercedes is? Now let's talk about that.
Yes. No. Move on.
No, we don't.
Nope. And we've talked about the Vista Group many times on the channel, and unfortunately, the Vista Group at that time, I don't think. Later on, I think, AJ, they had a contract with Mercedes, but I don't think they did at that time. And there's no record of Devin's Mercedes and that stuff. So no, we don't have any leads on it, unfortunately.
Cool. Karan 1984, what do you guys speculate the studio would have done for filming stunts if the infamous train derailment never happened? Let me think about that because, I'm probably going to be the one that does a large full feature video on the train derailment, hopefully in the not so distant future. No promises, because my editing schedule's a bit behind, but that's a good question. I'd like to, I think we should think about that.
Yes.
How, would they have actually been able to pay retail or get more deals to get stuff out of Pontiac enough to limp along to that point? Because that was a huge game changer for that show.
Oh,
huge.
Yeah. It really was. Absolutely was.
I mean, okay. I think we could suffice to say that, Joe, when you do your all of the cars that were used as kit in Knight Rider video, and you do your updates of that. Oh, let's see every Thanksgiving, because that's what we expect from you now. You got to update that one every Thanksgiving with all of the new things that you learned.
Yes. Yes.
You'd have fewer cars to go through. What is the official count at? Because you added a couple after that video was published.
Oh, let me open up my master ridiculous spreadsheet of way too much analysis on that stuff.
There's no such thing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 Trans Ams we've identified that have been used in the series in the 4 years. 27.
Okay. And how many were in your Thanksgiving video?
Hang on. It was around there. It might have been 27. I don't remember. But one thing I wanted to point out is at least one of those cars, it should be 28 actually, because one of those, the studio numbered the cars so they could keep track of them. And there was one of those cars that was destroyed, and it was replaced with another Trans Am, but it was given the same number. The roll cage acrylic window jump car, which was the one, if you think about it, it was the one that was beat up the most. So it was replaced at least once, probably more than once. So 28 is the minimum number. It might have been a little bit over 30 though, when all said and done.
LJ Vlogs asked for a shout out. Sure, why not? Hi.
And I saw someone, Mark, asked for dedicated videos on each car uses kit. Yes, actually, that's one of the plans is to do that as soon as I can.
If anyone thought that we'd ever run short of content, you are wrong. Editing ability and skill, maybe, but content, no.
Yes, there's no problem with content, and I started doing those top 10 videos. I've done 2 of them so far. The top 10 things you didn't know about Knight Rider, and then the top 10 mistakes. And boy, did you guys seem to really like them. I mean, they both really blew up. So I have a list of like a dozen more top 10 that I want to do. I think the next one I'm going to do is maybe top 10 evil cars or top 10 villains. But I got a whole bunch of those that I can do. I like doing those. Those are fun. So if you have any top 10 ideas, let me know. Okay.
And I'm being informed that I actually need to update my shout out because LJ Vlogs is actually somebody we both know. It's Lucas. Lucas.
Oh, kick him out of here. He's not allowed to be here.
No,
it's
of
past
course.
his bedtime.
Lucas was a tremendous help to us. Lucas is 14 or 15 now. He's a tremendous help to us at the RetroCon last September.
Yes.
And he really made that happen. He was a tremendous help to us with his dad and so many other people when they came out for the semi restoration work day.
Yeah,
right?
work day number 1. Yeah.
Right. And there's about 6 other people that I'm neglecting to mention because they just didn't ask for a shout out. Yes, Lucas, you are special. You do get a shout out. Thanks for being here.
And I know Kevin, I think you're going to be at the drive-in tomorrow, right? So I'll probably see you tomorrow.
Even better.
Yes. When did Don Peak take over for Stu Phillips?
Episode 12.
No, episode 13. Hearts of Stone.
Well, okay. So that brings up a whole nother issue.
No,
how do you count?
I count 2 hours as one episode.
So do I. Hearts of Stone is episode 13. Yes, you're correct. Because the original agreement was for Glenn Larson to be hands-on with the first 12 episodes. And he was. And there was a major change with episode 13 because Robert Don't Call Me Bob Foster took over. And at the exact same time, Don Peak took over music for Stu Phillips. And what else happened? Let's see. Kit's voice modulator changed from a blinking square box to the 3 lines that we know and love. And what got painted black, Joe? For the first time in the series. Thank you very much. Well, okay, less the pilot because it was painted black then. But it got painted from white to black.
Yes. And ironically, it became white again. And now it'll be black again.
Well, right. So if anyone's going to chronologize all of those colors, it's going to be us. So there you go. It was a lot of things that changed.
Yes.
All in that one episode 13. Very ominous,
And for the record, there are not 90 episodes of Knight Rider. There are 84. And the first episode is not called Night of the Phoenix. It is the pilot. Night of the Phoenix. And Glenn Larson told us this himself in 2002. He had no idea. To him, the script was called Knight Rider. There was no Night of the Phoenix. He said that was something that came out of the syndication department whenever they split the episodes up to air in syndication. It became
that is exactly correct. As a matter of fact, you and I both on the phone with him 21, 22 years ago, and you guys will eventually hear this in some of our upcoming videos. You're actually going to hear Glenn's reaction on the phone to us asking this question. We referred to the pilot as Night of the Phoenix when we were asking about that, and he said, "What are you guys talking about?" He had no idea what Night of the Phoenix was. And that's how that came about. So his reaction is actually, you couldn't have staged that better, because we're asking him about Night of the Phoenix. He has no clue. And why would he? That's not what he named the episode.
That's right. That's right. So I don't think you'll ever hear me refer to that first episode as Night of the Phoenix. In any of the videos, I always call it the pilot. Finding the semi and trailer was more surprising to me than Germany reuniting. I love that. Trust me, it was more surprising to us as well. It's still unbelievable that the trailer was found. I mean, the tractor was one thing, but that trailer, it was divine. That's all I can say.
All right. Well, that comment came from John Big Boutte, but I'm going to have to ask the follow-up question. So, John, did David Hasselhoff end the Cold War by singing above the Berlin Wall? Did it happen? That's up to you to answer. There's a whole book and docu-series with that, on that particular topic. So that could be a whole boring video series on it of itself. Would you think that's boring? I'd like you guys to know. If we go down to rabbit trails like that, would you guys enjoy it? I'm really curious.
How did Jay Leno convince you to drive the Screen Use kit on public roads, and how nervous were you during it?
He didn't convince us. He just got it and drove it.
He did. So, honestly, I personally I had zero concerns about it. And maybe it's just because it's Jay Leno, and if anyone is going to drive the car out on the road, besides us, it's him. And it wasn't like closed roads either. Like, we were driving in traffic on normal roads. We went 59 miles that day, which, since we rescued the car, outside of that 59 miles, we might have put like 2 or 3 miles on the car, AJ? So
yeah, exactly. So I think that is the only time that car has been on any public roads since we, maybe ever, except for the one time when we got it started. I was over at your house and I looked at you through the open T-tops and I said, "Get in."
Yes.
And we took Kit's first drive up and down your road outside your driveway.
That's true. Although I've taken him up and down my road a number of times over the years. But
that was the first.
I'm
very fond of that moment that you gave me that smile that you're almost doing right about now. And you said, like, "Really? We're going to do this?" Yeah, get in. We're going to do this.
Yes.
And I know you don't regret it. I don't regret it.
No. Definitely not. What's with Kit's front piece back there? I talked about this at the start. I don't know if you were on, AJ. That's the nose for our other original in the Peterson.
Yeah, I recognize it.
Yes,
thank you.
I thought you would.
As soon as I could see it, I knew what that was. Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, so the story of that nose is that's a Screen Use nose. It was on the car, the shell of the Trans Am they pulled out of the acid pit in Junkyard Dog. That's that nose. And it made its way onto one of the other original cars over at some point. And when we got the other car, the nose was on it. The reason it's not on it now is because there were some paint issues on it, and we took it off and put a copy of an original nose on the car before it went to the Peterson Museum. So this one is going to go back on that car whenever it's done at the Peterson.
I think Lucas changed his name to KR Historian Junior Assistant.
Oh, that's not a valid title. Sorry, Lucas.
You're going to have to fight with Eric Wang over that one.
No, Eric is the assistant to the janitor of the historians or something like that.
Well, so there you go.
Do we have an original comlink? No, we do not.
No.
Let's...
So many questions, we can't get to them.
I know, they just keep coming.
Surviving cast and crew, the autograph, the trailer, what do you think? That's an interesting thing. I've never been big on having people autograph originals.
Nope.
Because they're original. And, autographs are great. Autographs are awesome. But for some reason, it doesn't seem necessary because we know it was used in the show, and we show you how we know that these things are used in the show. So why don't we save all the autographs for all of you with replicas and books and things you get from us and things you get from other things in the Knight Rider universe. We'll save all of the surviving cast and crew autographs left for all of you guys. You can have them. There it is. The Knight Rider historians officially gift to you all of the surviving.
Yeah, there you go.
Autographs.
So what's this? What's the update on the original scanner you got?
Which one?
I think the one from Julius in Glima. If you hold still, AJ, entertain them for 30 seconds.
Oh, that shouldn't be too hard. Hi, Alyssa. All right. So, if it really took William Daniels less than half an hour to record the episode, he spent less than 2 work weeks on the show. Matthew Hager, that's actually a very good observation. And while William Daniels is still around for us to ask him that, I don't think we will, just because it's not the kind of question I think he would appreciate, knowing him, getting to know him as we do. But that's still a wonderful question. Is it hard to drive kit with the yoke steering wheel? It depends on who you are. Yes, no, and yes. That looks wonderful. Wonderful.
Thanks. Yeah, I built this display. A good friend of ours has another original scanner, and he built a display similar to this. So this control box, I think I talked about this in the video. This is an original control box, an original scanner bar, but they're from 2 different cars. This is from the roll cage acrylic window jump car. This scanner jumped in the air probably more than any other scanner. And 7 out of the 8 bulbs are all original, and they still work, which is crazy. And this control box came from the hardtop stunt car that was used in all 4 seasons of the show. The car that I said, if any escaped the crusher, it was this car. Any other one that we haven't found escaped the crusher was this car. And actually, for those of you guys who follow Perry Fractic and Retro Recipes, we collaborated with him on a video that he's going to be releasing very soon on this hardtop car. So, but yeah, so I've got this built, and I got all the guts in it behind here. There's the scanner bar for you.
Can you turn it on?
We
got to plug it in. Can it reach the outlet from there?
Jeez.
I know, I'm so high maintenance. I can see an outlet there, just to the behind your right elbow there, next to that radiator thing.
I can't hide anything from you, huh?
No, I'm not even at your house, and I can see this stuff.
All right, stand by.
Thank you, Joe. We all appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, says our fans. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to do it back here. Is it gonna reach? All right.
Michael, where are your pants?
So this one relay still sticks on, but there it is. There's the original scanner.
Nice. And that actually looks quite stunningly amazing with the diamonding effect in the lens. Actually, that's really good.
Yeah, that actually.
I don't know. Can you see how that comes through for fans?
Yeah, I can see. That looks really neat.
That looks really amazing.
And
as if the scanner light is reaching out to you.
Let me see if I'll adjust the speed. Whoa, slow down, Kit. There we go.
Can't quite hear the relays. Go ahead and click the.
Oh, I can hear them. All right. Goodbye, scanner.
Thank you. Nicely done.
Thank you. I'm going to have a mess to clean up here with all this stuff.
Was Pontiac as a company fond of kit, says Andrew I. That's a good question. It depends on who in Pontiac. I think the executives at Pontiac had both a love and hate relationship with it because, they approved the design of kit they had to in order for that whole crazy thing to go to happen. And we will be releasing videos soon, sometime in the future. Maybe I shouldn't say soon, but sometime in the future about exactly how all of that origins of Knight Rider stuff actually happened and all the details there. But of course, then there's also you can't be referring to kit as a Trans Am anymore in the episode. So there's some episodes and some filming, from a certain point we hear black T-top instead of Pontiac or Trans Am. And what always freaked me out about that, and of course Joe can explain this to all of us, we can explain this to all of us, is that in the pilot, we've got Tanya calling Kit a black T-top, and yet in a later episode after the pilot, we've got Kit jumping over something because the guy's hitting the controls with his feet as Michael is fighting with him. What's his name? Dugan's hitting the controls with his feet.
In Inside Out, yeah.
In Inside Out, right? The car jumps in front of these officers checking speed, and the other officer says, "What was that?" And the first officer says, "A Pontiac."
There you go.
And that was after, but of course they weren't filmed in that order, were they, Joe?
It was the pilot, and then Inside Out was the second episode filmed, but it didn't air until later in the first season.
Yeah, but then why does Tanya in the pilot say black T-top and that officer still gets to say a Pontiac?
She doesn't. She says black Trans Am. She doesn't say black T-top. She says black Trans Am.
How can I get that wrong?
I don't know. It sounds like you need to go watch the pilot.
I think I need to check that out right now because for some strange reason, stuck in my brain is black T-top. I'm having
a senior moment. Yes, that's right.
Well, it's not a senior moment. It's actually the moment of alternate universes in my head where I think it's one thing and I go back and watch and realize I just remembered it wrong.
Yes. So
the Mandela effect moment. That's what I was thinking of.
So Uncle G's workshop is here. Uncle G is a huge supporter of ours, and he's really helped us with the sleeper and some of the other stuff. So we're glad you're here, Uncle G.
Thank you.
Yes. And I'll take, what was I going to say? I just saw one I wanted to, oh, this one keeps popping up. Were all the Trans Ams for Knight Rider produced at the GM plant in Norwood, Ohio, or in California? I live just south of Norwood. They were all from Van Nuys, California. None of them were from Norwood.
Very, very well said. I just got a text from somebody helping us on the sleeper, and he says that my voice over your phone sounds a lot like Kit.
Oh,
I'm honored.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Can you say, Michael, where are your pants?
I said, Michael, where are your pants? And you were just walking up with the scanner, coming down the stairs there.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Michael, where are your pants?
Oh, I love it. All right.
Yeah,
so,
that's a good line from Inside Out. It's a very good line from Inside Out.
Yes. Yeah, Nick agrees. You sound like a decent Kit.
Yes. Perry Fractic thinks so too.
Yeah. Have you guys ever been to the Chicago filming locations? No. I've been to Chicago.
Eric has.
Eric has.
Maybe Eric should produce a video on those locations. What do you think?
I think that would be a great idea. He doesn't have anything going on, right?
Eric, go for it. Yeah. Full-time law enforcement career. No, nothing at all. Anyway, so many questions. They just keep scrolling. Keep them coming, guys. This is great.
Oh, Alyssa's on. Alyssa was here for our semi-work day.
Yes, thank you. Hi.
Hi, Alyssa. Did you see Knight Rider 2008? What did you think of it, honestly? I tried. I've seen it all. I haven't.
We've tried.
I don't even think I haven't seen it a second time. It just didn't do it for me. It's you can't.
So I have a story about that, and maybe we'll actually. I'm not sure if I should put this in a video or not, but I'm going to. Justin Bruning is a really great guy in person, and I had the privilege of meeting him in person in 2009 at the first Knight Rider Festival in Las Vegas on Fremont Street. And there was at least one original Mustang from the 2008 Knight Rider there at the time. If not, there was some good replicas. I can't remember which is which.
It was original.
The originals have been there on those festivals from year to year. But anyway, but I had one of our originals there as well. And so at a certain point, I was able to get him away from his autograph signing table and get him to sit in the original kit from the original series. And I have all of this on camera. There were several cameras rolling, and I remember he sat down in the car and he looked at it. And keep in mind, this is not the producers. This is the actor, right? He played Mike Tracer, of course, his son of Michael Knight, loosely interpreted, so on and so forth. So it's not necessary that he should, in real life or even in his character, know the answer to this question. But he sat down in the car, the original kit from the original Knight Rider, one of the three used in the pilot. And he looked at the dash, which still looks a lot like it would have back. Okay, well, that's another story. It still looks like Kit, as we understand Kit from the original series. And he says, with all sincerity, he says, "Is this what it really looked like?" And right then, I felt the disconnect between the two shows, because he wasn't really as in tune as pretty much everyone here is at what Kitt's, first, second, or third and fourth season dash would have looked like. This was the first, second season dash. So it was actually just kind of a very, very sincere moment that kind of explained the disconnect between the two cars. Because his, right, I don't know, I don't even know how much time he spent in his hero car, but it looked radically different on the inside than Kitt as we know and love him from the first to fourth seasons of the original series. So I just thought I'd share that anecdotal moment. So
yeah,
Justin, if you're out there, I hope that doesn't offend you at all, because I wasn't offended by it, because it just kind of explained it. By the way, I'd love to see it again. I have no idea if that'll ever happen, but that would be a cool thing.
I highly doubt Justin is one of our viewers tonight, but you never know.
You never know. You never know.
Valentine's 2, we are not ignoring you. You're not doing anything wrong. We definitely appreciate you here. Thank you so much. It's hard to keep up with all the comments.
It is. There's so many of you we should get to.
How many of the gray cars were used in Junkyard Dog, and where did the sound of the turbo boost come from? So, sound of the turbo boost, I don't know where it originated from. I mean, I know you've. I think it was in Battlestar Galactica, but I don't know the origins of it. So many people have asked me that question, but we've never really dug into it. Do you have any thoughts? I'm sure it was just the sound effects department at Universal, AJ.
Well, okay. And now this is one of those questions that I'd like to ask on Peak the next time I interview him. And that is, how much of those sound effects did he do in his studio? And how much of the sound effects did he not do?
He didn't do the sound effects. He said that was completely, we've asked him that. That was someone else. That was a different department. And
yet, every once in a while, maybe it's just because he knows how it was done when he would say, "We did it this way," as a general we, not we as in I and my studio assistant.
Right. And
there you go.
Yeah. To answer the other part of your question, how many gray cars were there? One. I think one. Hold on, I'm looking. Well, you have the one that was dropped in the acid pit. I wouldn't call that a gray car. That was just kind of like acid dipped. But I think they had one car painted gray. That's it. Yeah. Yep, just one.
But the acid pit kit, you have one or multiple videos on our channel about that.
Yes. Yeah, we've talked about that, because the car that they pulled out of the acid pit did not have a drivetrain in it. No engine, no transmission. And that's the car that eventually became the transforming Super Pursuit car with the hydraulics and all that stuff. So, yeah, we've done a video on that specific car, but they only painted one gray for that episode, and it was the left-hand blind drive car. That's it.
So what silver paint was used for Car's two-tone look? Was it some sort of temporary paint that could be removed when done? I don't think they ever used temporary paint, but they reshot the paint on those cars so often, I don't think it was any big deal to paint it silver using whatever silver that they had at the time, and then repaint it black the next time.
Yeah. It was yes, I'm positive they would have painted it. And Ron Martinez told us that he painted it using the colors of the 1978 Corvette Anniversary Edition.
And why would he remember that? I didn't remember that. Why would he remember that?
Is this a quiz? I don't know. Did he have one?
Knowing Ron, yes. Unfortunately, he may not remember that answer now, but knowing Ron, yes, he absolutely had one. And if he didn't have one, he wanted one. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done that.
Right. Exactly.
So Hans says, I've been chatting with David Hasselhoff about a movie. Hans, if you are really chatting with David Hasselhoff about a movie, you have way better connections with him than we do. So congratulations. And I'm sounding a little bit tongue in cheek when I say that, but I mean that very sincerely. We have not yet been successful at getting an audience with David in long term any more than, what was it, about 60 seconds at the Good Morning America shoot?
Yeah, that was about it.
So Hans, keep up talking about that. Oh, you sent us an email. Well, thank you, Hans. We appreciate that. We'll see if we can find it.
So one thing I wanted to share with you guys before I forget. So I mentioned at the beginning of this video that we have a new website, nightriderhistorians.com. We've had the URL for a while, but we updated it, and there's There's some really cool new products on there. There's shirts with the Rodent Raiders from Soul Survivor and Class Action from Let It Be Me. There's just some really like deep cuts on there. But I wanted to mention we've been working with Nick Nugent, who you know is the author of the Knight Rider Companion, and amazing digital artist. And we've been working with him on a collaboration where we're going to start using some of his designs in some of our products. So if you guys are interested, those will be coming soon to our store over at KnightRiderHistorians.com. So check that out. And like we mentioned earlier, we've got all of Dawn Peak's soundtracks there, except for, this might be a good time to review the ones that we don't have. Which ones don't we have? Missing Dawn Peak reels. Goliath, White Line Warriors, Race for Life, Goliath Returns, Let It Be Me, Big Iron. Or no, we have Let It Be Me. I'm sorry. We do have Let It Be Me. Big Iron, Night of the Drones, Ice Bandits, Rotten Apples, Dead of Night, Lost Night, Custom Made Killer, Night by Nose, Night Lines, Kidnap, Night Racer, Out of the Woods, Deadly Nightshade, Night of a Thousand Devils, Night of the Rising Sun, and Voodoo Night. So there's 20, exactly 20 that we're missing that we're still looking for. But our goal is to make every single one of Dawn's episode soundtracks available to you. But this last round, we got Soul Survivor on there, which is an amazing soundtrack. I know it's one you guys have wanted for a while. So check it out. You'll definitely like it.
It is absolutely fan favorite.
Yes. What else do we have?
Oh, they're scrolling so fast. All right.
Who did Whitebird? Whitebird, you mean the song? Well, Dawn Peak did the music for it, but Whitebird, the song, is by a group called It's a Beautiful Day. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. We're actually gonna be doing a video specifically on Whitebird at some point soon.
Yes, we are.
Yes. Nick, Kit versus Car is still my favorite episode. That would be a very, very close second episode for me. Goliath Returns and then Kit versus Car.
As it should be.
Yeah. Any plans for Halloween Knight Rider things? I hadn't thought about it, but maybe. Who knows? What's going on with the channel after the resurrection with the semi? Are you just going to do commentary on Knight Rider, or are you going to do things with the cars? Well, probably both.
Well, but we have so much more to say than commentary on Knight Rider, because we have stories, right? We have interviews from people who were actually in the show and made Knight Rider happen back in the day, and those things just keep coming. I mean, there's no shortage of stuff.
No, definitely not.
In the Knight Rider universe. And then there's all these rabbit trails that we could go down based on your opinions.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Like if David Hasselhoff really did it, Cold War. Singing Looking for Freedom.
He must
in his
have.
blinky jacket.
Right.
On top of the Berlin Wall.
Yes. All right, guys. Oh, go ahead, AJ.
Well, I'll close with that. Since I brought it up twice, I actually did go, when was the last time I was in Germany? 2021. I actually did go to... No, it was 2019. I did actually go to the Hof Museum, right? The tribute to the Hof Museum that's actually very near the Berlin Wall in what's called the Circus Hostel. Did you know that there is a museum dedicated to David Hasselhoff there? I've been there. It's a very interesting thing. Maybe we'll do a video on that someday soon, because there's some Knight Rider connections. There's the tangents we could talk about. Stuff like that. We have no end to these things. You got to go, Joe. I can hear you.
Yeah, hold on. I want to answer Miltos, because he's been asking, is there a future for the franchise? Do you think there's going to be any movie or series in the future? Boy, it's so hard to say. They've been talking about a Knight Rider movie. I have a clip from, I think it's from 1997, where Hasselhoff's talking that a movie's coming, and it just never has materialized. So
Hans Seth says yes. Hans Seth says he sent us an email.
Okay, we'll check. We'll check that email and see. But hard to say. Who knows?
If it's possible, we'll be the ones to follow up on it.
Yes.
So far, my experience has been the same as Joe's, as we do our independent yet collaborative investigation. That it gets so far and then nothing. You remember Knight Rider Heroes, right? That was a YouTube channel and a promotional for some stuff. And we thought something might come of that, right? David had a nice professional film crew out at El Mirage, and they used one of the well-known replicas that was around at the time. It should still be around. And, so that was a really cool, well-produced video. I thought it was a lot of fun. Thought something would come of that, and it never did.
Nope, never did. So.
Cool.
All right. Well, I think we're going to shut her down for tonight. This was fun. Maybe we should make this kind of a regular thing where, we can chat with you guys and answer questions and just have a good time. So
clearly by the comments, the interest is there. And by the fact that we're both having trouble keeping up, I love that. So I'd like to keep this going.
Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, we'll definitely do another one. Maybe we can do like a giveaway. We'll have to talk about AJ. Maybe we do some kind of a giveaway or do something fun next time. But thank you guys so much for joining. If we didn't get to your question and you really, really want to know our thoughts on it, email us at nightriderhistorians@gmail.com and we'll get back to you. But other than that, have a great night, guys. And we'll be talking to you soon.
All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks, Joe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.